I'll take you there with my power.
Alright, let's get back to adventuring. Look, you can't attack me on the road. It's like the home base, son. Boys, you're going to get a reputation on the playground. So here's the thing. I completely forgot that they're over here in this swamp. Hold on, looks like the monsters appear and impotently flail against us on the road. Up in this swamp, there is a cave. You can probably see it right now. Perfect. Ran into the Gangleman right at the cusp of the swamp. Just like I wanted to. Just like the old country. Alright, that's enough fuck birds. Alright, maybe we can get there real quick. Oh, of course, that's when they throw fairies at you. The last possible second. Boys, what a time to be alive. No, fuck you. I'm going to cast shield and take this and have full magic and take half damage, and y'all aren't making me mad. Not at all. I'm the fucking hero of... let's give him a title humorously, because this joke's not funny anymore. Well, look at you just come right over here, just full of piss and vinegar. They stop the perfect distance from your sword. It's beautiful when you think about it. Miyamoto himself, he had interns come running at him with hatchets in the office. Well, I guess I would be remiss not to just cast all kinds of fucking magic now. There we go. Oh, not quite enough to get the full. Don't let the ladies find out. If you're going on a date with a hot lady and you're not at full mana... Oh god, my jump timing is off. I can down thrust. Death from above. Boys, we finally unlocked the Dragoon job class for Link. This is the water of life, or the medicine of life. I like how they put a pit there in case you just want to die. In case you don't feel like walking out the cave. You just want to return by death your way out, boys. How convenient. Yeah, son, look at that shit. Jumping high, thrusting down. It's what Dragoons are all about. Of course, the coolest Dragoons throw their spears down and catch them, but I'm not talking about any in particular. Okay. We did it. We're the hero. Please don't fuck me in the swamp. I'm the hero! Okay, thank goodness they relented at the last second and realized who they were dealing with and fought me on the grassy plains. Alright, now that we got medicine. And not even a bad medicine, son. Bon Jovi's not going to be happy, but at least we can heal this lady. Well, look at you come running at me full of piss and vinegar. Look, the woods is a good place to fight sometimes if you want experience. Though, like, they knew that in olden times. That's why you had the woodsman, who, like, in a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, he would just show up out of nowhere. He was like the Brother Grimm self-insert OC. Like, the two brothers. There's Frank Grimm and Hans Grimm. And Frank was... Well, that's where the expression to be frank comes from, because he was always very stern. He's like, we must teach the children to never disobey parents and eat sweets in the woods, or they would be killed by a bear. A bear, but we'll say it's an old woman with a house you can eat. It's a metaphor. But Hans, he was like, what if? And as soon as he started, Frank just rolled his eyes. He's like, what if right when the witch is about to eat children, eat kinders? Boys, the story you'd had to ban it in the U.S. because you can't get kinder eggs in the U.S. But anyway, we would have to change it. Right before he eats the double quarter pounder with cheeses. What if the super cool huntsman busts in at the last second? Oh, he's so handsome and swole. He wields the hatchet in one hand and the Japanese katana in the other. Boys. He's also got one Sharingan eye. His other eye is artificial like spikes in Cowboy Bebop, so he can only see the past. He's got one devil wing. And also, he's a neon green wolf man. Boys. Hans Grimm, they didn't have the internet back then. Boys, if you started trying to tell people about your super cool, like, self-insert OC persona back then, they'd probably kill you. Nowadays, they just say they will on the internet, but back then, they'd really do it. Kind of ties into the theme of this playthrough, with Ganon's minions all being Anthro characters. I'm just trying to say that this game in modern times, son, The persecution is real. I'm not fighting blobs in the desert. I won't do it. I've got standards. Alright, now that we can cast fairy magic, we can go south of Kingstown. Fine, I'll fight eyeballs in the cemetery because I'm the hero, and I guess that's what the hero does. That's Link when he's like passive-aggressively. He like tries to come back to town, and the townsfolk are just like, oh no, his eyeballs are in the graveyard attacking people. Whatever shall we do? And Link's like, yeah, whatever shall we do? Here's the thing. I need to cast fairy, but once I become a fairy, I won't be able to pick that urn up, and it's just wasted magic. It hurts me. And there's no way to, like, properly... Or is there? Tell you what, here's what we'll do. Let's just cast life and use up a shitload of magic. We don't have enough to turn into the fairy. We min-maxed our way into a fucking inescapable pit. Alright, let's go back to town and see that magic cougar woman. I don't mind fighting eyeballs if I'm going back to town. That way I'll have something to talk to with the red dress lady. So when she's restoring my HP, I can be like, hey baby, I've been out there fighting floating eyeballs in the cemetery. I'm going to die in the cemetery trying to impress a hypothetical woman. It's the way all true heroes want to die. Oh, too late. That blob was racing me to town, but I beat him. Hey, sweetheart. Don't mind me. I'm just an undead slayer. Okay. We got full life. And soon, we'll have full magic. Oh boy. Oh boy. I wish you could enter this town from the other direction. The cougar lady lives in the back half of town. Actually, it's more like the middle of town. Okay. What do you say now? The water of life. Quick. I've already give it to him. Shut up. I like how you're so fucking worried, but not enough to know that the person's been cured. You just like getting all that attention on ye old Facebook. Of course, it's a town, so Facebook would be like one person standing in the middle of town yelling about everybody's business. The crier, they called him. Haha! Didn't expect me. I dipped one toe in the cemetery, and when the vengeful spirits rose up to attack me, I immediately ran back. There, I've become a fairy. So when you cast this fairy spell, you become a fairy, and you can fly around, and you can technically pick items up, and you can also fly through keyholes. But you can't fight. Fairies are very not. Oh, wait, I have down thrust. Fuck you. I don't need no bubble lead. I don't need no search snake. I don't need no needle shot. Boomerang. Quick boomerangs. Boys, I wish that man weren't over there doing a little shimmy in place like he climbed to the top of the beanstalk in Mario 1. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run over there and jump and crouch like fucking James Brown and slide over there. The hardest working man in Hyrule, and I'm going to stab that fucking thing in the face. Fuck you! Also, I always forget I have down thrust. It's like if I did fast Dragoon training, son, and when we were finally out in the field, I'm like doing the most poking and jabbing, and my commander's like, use a fucking downward attack, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. It's like when Hermione forgot she was a witch and needed a bit of wood to make a fire. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot that I can jump quite high in the air. Well, look at you, ain't you fucking lovely? Oh, I guess your flail mace somehow magically comes back to you. Fucking midichlorians and shit. Boys, this place is real drab. Have you noticed? Also, the skeletons, like, have armor. They've upgraded. Armored suit skeleton. My favorite 70s OVA animation. Boys, I've got dog shit what kicked out of me, and I ain't even gone through one room of this dungeon. I wonder if there's any secrets. Sometimes you can find items in these blocks, but I feel like you can see them. Like you'll see a humble pea bag. Do we really gotta dig through all these? It's like that episode of the X-Files where they go to the town full of OCD vampires. Well, I guess a jackal man just got teleported in from hell. Oh, I looked those guys up, by the way, in between recording sessions, and they're some kind of dog men. Miyamoto probably doesn't know the difference between a hyena man and the jackal man and the dog man. Fucking specious. Okay. He wouldn't do well in the world of V-Stars. Okay. Now that fucking eyeball, good lord, look at this nonsense. They expect a humble elf boy to do it. Let's heal ourselves. We don't quite have enough magic to cast it twice, unfortunately. Hey buddy, you look like the kind of guy that gets real ornery and jumps around. See, we could see the key. So yeah, if there's an item, of course there could be hidden items too. I've learned nothing. I've learned that I hate these fucking things. Oh look, I learned how to imitate me. Imitation Dragoon. Okay. Whew. Boys, it's almost like the game's getting progressively harder as we go. Isn't that something? Well, you're just trapped in a hell of your own making. I assume you laid those blocks out there. You want me to down thrust your little fucking sea urchin friends so that I fall down there and fight you. It worked. His plan worked. The Ganon came back. I didn't realize I was at 1 life. God damn it. That's what I get for using a save state. And by that I mean, this is the same recording session as the first time. Shut up. Shut up. You're playing the game on an NES Classic. Actually, I used the save state intentionally so that I wouldn't fuck up saving. Because I know in these old Zelda games, you gotta die to save. And Link to the Past, God bless your heart. I mean, luckily for me, I always play through that whole game in one setting. Because I'm real good at it. But, it counts saving and quitting as a death. My God, talk about strict. Shigeru Miyamoto is like your stern Asian father. So if you want that 0 next to your little Link avatar at the very end, boys, you can't save and quit and you can't die. I believe if a fairy resurrects you, it also counts as dying. Okay. We're going to play the game real good from here on out. My friend James Piner, God bless his heart, this is like his favorite Zelda game because it's the one he had as a child. Was admonishing me very harshly in a private chat when he started watching this playthrough. So, I feel like I need to live up to his standards. And to do that, I need to run into this guy. So Miyamoto gave them, it's some sort of innate Ultra Instinct-like ability. Because you'll notice every one of these enemies, you're like, oh boy, I'm going to attack him with my fucking butter knife. And you jump and slash, and they're like, they like wiggle ever so slightly out of your attack range. I'm telling you, Miyamoto spent months perfecting your attack distance and the way the enemies move in this game. Island worms. Somehow worse than mainland worms. But still not quite as bad as sea worms. Can I please to be having red potion? Thank you. Donka. Statue-san. Hair statue. Okay. Life. Boom. We did it. Yeah, I didn't want full magic anyway. Stupid. only tryhards get full magic restored. Okay, now that we're good at the game. Okay, we know one of them Bola man is going to come. Yeah, and it's going to fucking boomerang back. And you're going to jump in the air as if you're unconcerned. Whew. Boys, they made the enemies in this game annoying. I think James Piner's standards might be too high. Because he's like, I want you to get fucking hit by every enemy. I don't know if you know this, but they're all fucking horseshit. And your attack range is so small. So small is your attack range. My God. Yeah, fuck all this. I can jump. Oh no, what are you going to do now that I have the high ground, Skeleton King? You can fucking sit down there and think about what you've done, which was slightly inconvenienced me. Oh no. No, Jackal Bandono Yamate! Okay. Ooh, I want that. I wish these infinite Jackalmans gave you like any experience or could drop magic urns. But I could see why they don't. Then they wouldn't be a proper tremendous pain in the ass. Which is all Miyamoto ever wanted. Look, that fucking thing thinks it's so clever. Just keep walking right. Never stop. Okay, this time we're not going to let the Red Knight's master's scheme. His Machiavellian work of pure art. That was the trap he set for us last time. Oh, good God. It's impossible not to get hit in this game. I don't understand. James Piner, I'd like to watch you if I could play this game right now. Asshole. I've become so petty. I'm like the people that if you talk bad about a movie, I'm like, well, show me a movie you made, stupid. You can't criticize things unless you can flawlessly execute it yourself. They put a red one down there because they knew he'd be extra mad. Well, we're outside. This is it. Let's just go home. Oh, this thing is so fucking mad at me. I could tell. Now he's dead. Well, they just kind of put a key out here for fun. Do. I believe our keys, we return by death. We keep our keys. Obviously. Okay. Common collected. That's how this temple run is going to go. If only Game Maker's Toolkit was here with a diagram to tell me which way I should go. Well, it looks like the Panther heads are in town. And after I already swore to not make any Panther head jokes in the last episode, you crowd have got to ruin everything. There's no fucking end to them. I think there's literally no end to them. So they die in one hit, but they only give 5. They'd probably be useful for farming up blue magic pots. And these slimes are here too. Of course, it doesn't matter if you get fucking hit anyway. But still, it's a good fucking thought, I suppose. It's always nice to imagine how things would go if you weren't terrible at the game. Okay. Did I mention lately that I'm playing this on LCD television and there's infinite latency and such? I can't use my go-to excuses. I ate a proper breakfast because I got Bojangles, which is a fucking ordeal these days. Good God. There's always a line wrapped around the Bojangles all the way out into Arundel Street. What a mess. Well, now I don't know what to do because I've got so many locked doors to choose from. Let's just press forward. I'm telling you, I don't really know these dungeons at all past like the very first one. And that one I've only got a vague recollection. Look at me. So angrily trying to stab me. From Hell's Heart, truly, is where that man's stab came from. This looks like, yep, I was going to say, this looks like the kind of place you'd run into Pantherhead. Pantherhead sounds like the kind of band that would open for Wolves Can't Fly. To use some of my rich lore. I like how in, I think the last Breath of the Wild video, which I recorded like a month ago, not that y'all keep track of that kind of thing, but I was talking about how, man, I wish I'd made up, a bunch of dumb characters in lore for the Tenfey channel, like comparing it to like Spoonie or Linkar or any of those infamous internet peoples. But then I sat and thought about it, and I was like, oh, that's all I do. Like every playthrough. How many fictional characters are we up to that are watching that Breath of the Wild playthrough disapprovingly? Oh, the good times. Of course, you'd only know about that kind of stuff if you're a Tenfey true believer. If you only come to Tenfey for Dark Souls videos, you'd be like, what are they talking about? It'd be like your annoying friend who like refuses to watch the anime that you're watching, the subtitled anime. He's like on his phone, and so every time something happens, he's like, who's that? What happened? How did they beat that guy? Who was that again? Is that his brother? Is that his Oni-chan? You're like, oh God. Have any of y'all ever tried to show like a Tenfey video to somebody, like in person, and been so annoyed when they don't get it? They're like, is he bad on purpose? He talks like an idiot. He's playing a character, right? Nobody would really be like that, right? Right? Well, I got killed by a blob, a slime. He must have been a reincarnated office worker from Japan who got stabbed and reborn as a slime, and now he's just gonna fuck every girl in Hyrule because they all want his body. Have you all watched Reincarnated as a Slime, Day Saga, whatever the hell that show's called? Okay, fine. I don't have full health now. You win. I'm like Troy in Community when the fucking zombies got him in the Halloween episode. He's like, you did what zombies do. If we die one more time, Ganon comes back. And every time Ganon comes back, he's like Bill Murray waking up at Groundhog's Day. I figure y'all are sick of ReZero references, so I'll switch over. Boys, and once we run Groundhog Day into the ground, so we got Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. Diamond is not Crash. It's not the actual name. Didn't remember earlier when I said, boys, it's going to suck when we encounter the blue version of these guys. Well, these are the blue version of those guys, and as you can see, tremendous pain in the ass. But I got my raft. Boys, when I show that to that little kid in town, he's going to be impressed. He's going to be like, gee whiz, Mr. Link, I told you, didn't I? I sure did. There's a raft on the left in the island palace, is what I said. Would you like to buy a newspaper? Boys, he'd be so scrappy with his flat cap. Did they just issue those flat caps out to little street urchins back in those times? It was like your badge of status. You had to pass a trial. Instead of a trial into manhood like some cultures have, it was a trial to become a proper street urchin. The final test is to go up to that guy and ask him for some more, please. Boys, and then to withstand, you have to withstand the back of his hand. Did y'all remember that time that I died unloved and unmourned in a fucking palace in Zelda 2? Because it's about to happen. We could sit here like fucking lunatics and farm up more blue magic. That's what we're gonna have to do. Thank you, Blue Magic Chan. Arigato, Blue Magic Senpai. I don't know the Japanese word for blue. I need to work on being a better weeb. I need to throw out more Japanese gibberish. I could cast a life spell with all that magic. I still don't have enough to cast a life spell. Well, let's see. Place your bets now. Am I going to be able to farm up one of them things before I get killed? Oh, you probably thought I weren't going to stop that one. Yep, well, I was in a predicament right then. I'm sure Carrie Fisher will understand and not feel the need to mow me and my brother down. Let's click save just in case. Ben 006. Y'all didn't know I was 006, did you? Boys, remember that time me and Pierce Brosnan bungee jumped into that fucking Russian like gas research laboratory? Nope, it was a facility, excuse me. And I decided to tease the monsters. And anyway, we were like going around and we were going to blow up some fucking canisters of fart gas. And then the next thing you know, Janice 00. Have y'all seen GoldenEye? I'm not even making a joke. I'm just badly reciting the plot to GoldenEye. You know, I have the raft. We could just adventure to Yon Lands and come back to that palace later when we're a bit hardier. Because there's ye old heart containers and magic containers to be getting out here. Well, ain't you just a lovely fucking thing to have come towards you in the woods? 20 experience? Hot damn. Well, I felt like buy a lot of level ups. If he had experience like that. Felt like I buy a lot of corn pone scratch like that. Oh, I guess you just decide when your eye's open and when it's not, and I have no, power over it. Yeah, that's real fucking fair. Shigeru Miyamoto. Idiot. Alright, what do they do in this town? Who are we talking to here? Welcome to Naboru. She was the lady in the desert that was into /SS. Okay, what do you got to say? You must save Hyrule. See, I didn't know Hyrule was in danger. I thought it was just Zelda won't wake up. Okay, well, I'm glad you got that on Front Street. I appreciate it. And I'm glad all of your twin sisters also don't want to help me. How about, this fella. With boots, I could walk on the water. Listen to this blasphemer in here. Jesus didn't even have boots. He wore sandals, I believe. Boys, once that cougar lady gets a hold of you, you can't stop gaining magic. Oh, you're a heel lady. Yeah. Oh wait, are you heel lady? What did you say? I am thirsty. Yeah, damn right you are. Too bad my HP's full. Want to get some water. Boys, this is like... Is that all I gotta do? To impress this lady? Huh. Well, it's a crowd on this continent. Really easy to please. Other place I had to crawl up fucking swamp caves, assholes, and all kinds of shit. It was a nightmare. But you come over here and I can hand somebody a Capri Sun that's 2 feet away on a kitchen counter. This magic will make your sword shoot fire. Well, thank you for being very straightforward. Like, the man that taught me the shield spell, like, did a freestyle rap. But this guy's just like, hey, this spell right here. You want to shoot fire at your sword? Bada bing, bada boom. You'll be throwing fireballs like the New York Mets. Wait, little fellers always contain valuable knowledge. Where you headed, buddy? Jump in a hole in the palace if you go. Boys, I think he just told me to kill myself. Grandma Moses here. Everybody, you've got a bowl on your head, so you must be someone of... Please save our town. From what? It seems real nice, but the interest rates must be terrible. Boys, zoning laws. What do you do? See a man in Darunia before the islands. Okay. Well, you just have a different character model. What do you say? The river devil eats those who are weak. Well, I suppose. Well, that's just a bat on the ceiling. Hey, buddy. Can we talk? Oh, I can talk to you. Well, I could if you weren't fucking antisocial. My God. Hedgehog's Dilemma. This place is like, you could have put one window in it. Come back. No, he ran off with the most knowledge. Look, are you hiding behind her? Who are you? Now, I've got to talk to that somewhat chunky man. It was the vague nature of his huskiness that leads me to believe that he was filled with secrets and knowledge. Excuse me, have y'all seen, it looks like Air. Y'all know Air, right? He only appears but once in a dream. Alright, if we don't see him this time, I'll just keep walking. Because whatever he says, he probably is just going to be like, I'm far too busy to help you. These dicks ain't going to suck themselves. Food, buddy. Okay, what do we want to do? Now, the island. There's a maze island. Okay, we need the boots. There are boots that let you walk in water. There are Jesus boots. And they're out here somewhere. I know all about you. I know you turn into some kind of bat demon dragon and shoot a fireball. Alright, you're not cool. You're not original. Yes, everyone goes through a transform into a fire-spewing dragon man face. Well, look at you. You're like the dog from Gargoyles. Brooklyn? Bronx? What were the gargoyles' names now? I got to remember. There's Goliath. He was the only one that originally had a name. Because, like, apparently gargoyles thinks names are stupid. I guess they just use context clues to know what they're talking about. And then when they woke in New York City to find out where the competitor Pace Picante sauce is being made. And... Alright, here we go. We're over on the Maze Island. So there are battle spots here you can get into. And then you end up in mischief. But there's also a magic container over here on the left. So we're going to get that. Oh boy. Oh boy! Octoroks, Tektites, and Levers too! But with our help, our hero pulls through. You thought I was not going to name all the gargoyles. Shame on you. Okay. Goliath, that's easy. The old one with the sword is named Hudson. Because when Detective Montoya, or whatever the hell her name, Elisa Maza, I think is her name. When she's like, watch y'all's names, and they're like, names are stupid. We're like immortal gargoyles that turn into statues. We don't need fucking names, idiot. And Hudson's replies, he points at the Hudson River, and he's like, does the river have a name? He's like trying to pull some Pocahontas nonsense. And Detective Maza is like, yeah, it's called the Hudson River. Stupid. Good God. Pick up a fucking book. Sometimes sitting here watching TV all day. Andy Griffith ain't gonna teach you geography. Good Lord. Get a fucking job. Anyway, once she's done admonishing that man, he's like, well, then my name will be Hudson too. And she's like, wow, real original. I love my version of fucking Detective Mazza. I hope I'm remembering her name correctly. Surprise, surprise, the main human character. I don't give a shit and enough of a shit about remembering a name. Well, I remember Xanatos' name. Anyway, you may wonder why I'm going all the way out here, and that's because I gotta rescue a little feller out of this cave, son. Well, there's lizard men. I'm glad, good to know we got some scaly representation in here too. I guess your thick, scaly hide is too much for a jump attack. Hey, little feller, I'm gonna take you home tonight, but not in the context of that song. I'm returning you safely to your family. Boys, it'd be a real shame not to kill that thing. But on the other hand, you know, the cycle of violence. Let's let him bite our fingers off. And then we'll go home and not be able to play a guitar. And then we'll walk out the back door. And then we'll win every fucking award a piece of media can win. Alright, here we are. We're not going to get killed in the woods. Only losers get killed in the woods. Now, you may notice sometimes all the trees around me disappear. You can actually use the hammer from Death Mountain to knock trees down. So it doesn't do much combat-wise, but you can use it to find hidden villages. You can actually use it to find Bagu's cabin easier. Why are the regular blob monster encounters so fucking awful? I know we're in the new world, but shit. Maybe that's why they made the fetch quest back at town so easy. They were like, look, people, nobody's gonna visit this town if everything on the continent tries to kill them. It's like going to Australia. Boys, I assume if you take one step outside of Melbourne, you just get mauled to death. Alright, there's a town over here, but it's surrounded by desert. Deserts have... These are levers. The song was right. There's also traps like these. Cool Kids can do a trick where you get in a random encounter on the same time you step onto one of these tiles, and then you just have to deal with the random encounter. But, I mean, I'm just as bad at those as I am at these, so why differentiate? Why make a big deal? Of course, these has instant death pits. How many lives? Okay, I have all my lives. Ganon ain't never coming back. No more, no more, no more. Well, Bubbles, I forgot. Our greatest foe. Maybe I will use that trick. Anyone want to attack me? Just a saucy elf boy. Did I do it? We did it, boys. We used saucy elf boy tactics. Hell yeah! And here we are in town. What do you got to say? Mountain town of Darunia. Well, that makes sense, because he was the Gerudo sage. Have you called on to that yet? Oh, I forgot the eyes of Ganon are in this town. I forgot sometimes the ladies turn into fucking bats and fuck you to death, son. It's like an entire town filled with Rouge the Bat. Something about this house ain't right. Why am I allowed to go in here? It's like Friday the 13th. I'm gonna light the fireplace and get a note that says, go in the woods. What is big... You better not be an eye of Ganon. The devil does not like noise. Okay, she's talking about the river devil that eats the weak. Okay, that's the healing woman. You must save... Okay, there's ye old magic cougar. Right on the magic cougar. Okay. Look, I'm so camouflaged next to this house. He almost didn't see me. The palace has a false wall. I think they're all talking about the final dungeon, because it has false walls and it has a pit that you need to jump down. Just like that little fellow told us to do. When we show back up after we save the Hyrule and wake Zelda up and spoilers fight her shadow, we'll go back to that town and be like, thanks, little fellow. Your pro tip helped us. We jumped down that pit and he was like, I wanted you to fucking die, idiot. You are a hero for saving my child. Okay, she's the one that the Argonian man, the lusty Argonian spearman, the much less popular spin-off series to Lusty Argonian made. But he had kidnapped that child out in the woods. Not for lusty reasons. Why you gotta keep making this so awful? He was doing it for ransom money, like a gentleman. Alright, this gives us the Reflect spell, which, spoilers, we can't beat the island maze without. because I believe there's some sort of wizard or whiz robe, as they like to be called in this area. So they think it makes them real cool. Alright. Well, you look like you might be an eye Ganon, even though you're just a little feller. What you got to say? A powerful knight lives in this town. Upthrust Johnny lives in this town. Oh, and I know where Upthrust Johnny lives. I'm so glad they put him right here, because I just remembered that in a very Santa Claus-like manner, you can get on top of some of these houses and go down the chimney, like a Mario warp zone. Oh, I was all prepared to make the noise too. I'll do it this time. Bloop, bloop, bloop. No, I made the noise. Oh, excuse me. Anybody know any other chimney houses? I'm Santa Claus's apprentice. Okay. You can't jump on these roofs. Now, I might be at the wrong house entirely, but I do believe that I'm not making this up. There's a reason they let you go to these particular ones. I'm pressing up and down. Down A. Maybe, I was going to say, maybe you have to down thrust your way in there to prove that you know enough about thrusting for him to teach you the up thrust. So he can do his favorite joke. What's up thrust? Oh, that chimney looks like it's an advanced chimney to get to, son. That would be enough to impress that man. Here I come. We got to build up jumping speed. Chimney man! No. I gots to know the up thrust. I think you genuinely have to get the up thrust to beat the game. Fine, I'll go in this direction. And maybe there's some good chimneys. The kind that like people going down them. Bloop, bloop, bloop. We did it. And we broke both our legs. Excuse me. Some people come in through a door. Have you heard of it? He's got a spear. When you jump, press up to stab. You know, that's not something I've ever seen a Dragoon do. Boys, we're going to impress all the Dragoon ladies with that fucking move. There's something about that animation. This is it. The rest of the game is just going to be us doing this. It's like, if you ever watch a Tool Assistant speedrun of this game, they use a trick where if you press left and right at the same time, like Link flips the fuck out and goes flying around, and like the screen wrap can't even keep up with him, and it's crazy. But you can't normally do that on an NES controller because it's a little cross pat. Have you seen a Nintendo controller? Do you kids remember the Nintendo Entertainment System? It's that thing James Rolfe is always yelling at back when he used to be good. Boys, I was watching his Echo one the other day, and I was just sitting there just staring straight forward. I was like John Rambo fucking driving that boat of missionaries up the river to get fucked to death. It's the only Rambo movie I've ever seen. Was that, like, the most somber one. Alright. We got some good shit. Now, should we go to the Maze Palace and deal with that? Since we're already over here on this continent. Alright, we're going to use advanced getting in a fight on a square tactics. Okay, you can't do it unless it approaches from a certain way. Elf Boy tactics have their limitations. I'm not a miracle worker. Oh no, I am. It worked. I am the Jesus. No, the pea bag on the cusp. That's how they lured me to my death. It's like Patches is going to appear and kick me down there. Okay, come on. Boom, boom. Will I ever get another level up before a game over? Not unless you grind. Grind your way to a better you. Always be grind. That's me if I was a motivational speaker in the Final Fantasy world. How to grind your way to success. Alright, Maze Island. Think you're so fucking cool. I have spots where people get in the encounters. That makes me real interesting. That's my personality. You think those things, they must be stabbable when they like get up on their hind legs like that. That must be the point where you can like shy in there and get a good hit on them. Now these fucking things just, I don't know. I don't know what Miyamoto wants. I guess you gotta cast the fireball spell or whatever. How much I don't even know how much mana that costs. I was debating if I wanted to walk around the long way. Nah, we'll go through. Okay, fine. How much does fire? Okay, let's see. Well, look at that. We're suddenly the best heroes of all time. So like most of the spells in this game, it only lasts for one screen. So get your fucking use out of it. How about you, little feller? Well, look who's suddenly susceptible. Look who's suddenly been made mortal. You're like the little boy in Cowboy Bebop that was playing that harmonica, and he thought he was the best because he was immortal. And then Spike Spiegel just walked up with a fucking, some kind of sawed-off rifle pistol or something. I'm sure Gun Otaku know what he used. My friend Noah, I guarantee, knows what gun that was. But anyway, spoilers, he just like walks up and fucking shoots him right in the mouth. And the kid turns into a mummy, and he's like, oh, I'm a mummy now. It's poignant. It's poignant. And Spike's like, whatever, idiot. Spike only cares about the plot-relevant episodes. Ironically, my least favorite episodes of Bebop. Boys, if they start talking about Vicious, if they're on like one of Jupiter's moons, I'm like, ugh. Wake me up when they all trip on mushrooms. Wake me up when there's a good Cowboy Bebop episode. If there's not a crazy fat Frenchman flying around beating shit out of people with a top hat cane, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Boys, if Spike Spiegel doesn't kick a refrigerator out of an airlock while 2001 Space Odyssey music plays, I don't even know why you would give it the time of day. Look, we took the long route and got probably one less encounter. I bet there's something in that corner. Well, fine. Make me a liar.